Meet Aubrey Mapeka, a dedicated banker by day and a passionate entrepreneur by night. Based in Everton, Aubrey runs a quarter joint that is next to the Everton Mall as a side hustle. Let's find out how he is making it happen. Let's check in. Aubrey,
Hola,
how are you checking in?
man. I'm great. Can't
Oh.
complain. I just had a long day today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not easy. Coming here,
Okay.
but by the grace of God, we have made it.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, I know that you've been through a lot of ups and downs for the day.
Yes, sir. No, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Tell us a bit about Aubrey. Who is Aubrey?
Yo, man. My name is Aubrey Mapeka.
Hmm.
Um, I'm a last born.
Okay.
On my mother's side, I'm a firstborn on my father's side.
Okay.
You understand? It's
Yes.
mixed thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I get it.
Yes. Aubrey is a young man from the Vaal, born in Everton.
Okay.
Um, grew up being so passionate, being a dreamer, a visionary, desiring to achieve so much. Above all, before I can mention all those things, Aubrey is a husband
Okay.
to my beautiful wife.
Yes. Most
Yes,
definitely.
Mas Chava, and then you're blessed with a son, Blessing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. Nice. Just one boy
one boy.
for now.
Pending. Some are still pending.
Pending, yeah, most
Sure.
definitely. Okay, yeah, but a bit of your background. Where were you? You were born go Everton.
In Everton, yeah.
Yes, and your schooling. Where did you attend? You know, how was your upbringing? Was it? Were you one of those naughty ones? Give us the juice.
No, man. I was not the naughty one.
Okay.
I went my primary school. I did it in Khunwana Primary School.
Okay.
Secondary, I did it in Mateke Secondary School. And then varsity, I did entrepreneurship
Okay.
there at Tswana University of Technology.
Okay.
And then furthered my studies again here at VUT, did business administration in VUT.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not a naughty guy, man. I was very disciplined because I'm someone who grew up in the house of God.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, when you go to church, you become so grounded,
Yeah.
humble. I feel like church just
It
discipline
molds
you. It molds you to become a better person in
Most
life.
definitely. Most
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you were in Sebokeng your whole life.
Yes.
How was growing up in the area? Yeah. You mentioned Matlake, and I think
You.
one of our guests, Lawrence, also might have said he went to Matlake. I can't remember for sure.
That's one of my mentors, actually.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
It's a very small world, I guess,
Yes.
in the Vaal.
Yes.
So how was the, I mean, he mentioned growing up in a very um, tough environment. For you, how did you find growing up in Everton?
I think growing up in Everton for me has been a blessing.
Okay.
It's not easy growing up in Everton. Environment plays a huge role in the mindset
Yeah.
of a person or human being. Your environment, it can affect how you think, can affect how you see things in life. But you know, being growing up in Kasi, you do have those guys you look up to, some who are in business, some who are might be hustling, you know,
Yeah.
their shortcut route, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we end up looking up at those guys saying that one day I'll love to become like that person. But most of the time we look at the things that they have, but we don't know deeply what is it that they're doing behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But growing up in Kasi, for me, it has been a blessing.
Okay.
But the environment can affect how you think. It needs you to change how you see things. You know. I mean, it doesn't matter which background you might be coming from. Your background can inspire you to say you want to become someone better in life. You know, Kasutra, I'm not sure of that term very well. I don't know this. They say Bomampudi, Batswa Moruling. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
You don't know Sotho?
These my early
You don't know my early?
I did them in school, but I can't remember them quite frankly.
It's okay.
Some of them I don't know.
Yeah.
And I did well funny enough in school,
school,
but
okay.
yeah, the language ilahlekile, but
Why?
I think it's just over the years I've not used it so much.
Okay.
You know,
I understand. I understand. Yeah.
yeah. And then so now okay, you grew up in the area. Have you always thought of yourself becoming but before we go into you becoming an entrepreneur, I just want to find out this. You are saying you grew up in an environment where it was tough, but you were always, you know, grounded.
Yes.
And you mentioned that you went to your grounding came from a church environment.
Yes.
Is that your sole source of grounding, or is there other sources of grounding that you say maybe that also contributed into me becoming a grounded person?
Church, number one. Number two, I would say my parents.
Okay.
My parents, they're very humble. Like ke batho ba batho. You know, I think I also took it from them.
Okay.
You know, one thing I also like about my father is very good with relationships, building relationships with people. I think I've also taken that to respect people, regardless of who you are or
Yes.
how much you have. Treat people fairly with respect. So I've taken that from my parents.
Okay. No, nice one. And you are the last born in your family, and you have older siblings.
Yeah.
How is the relationship?
Ah, man. The relationship is fine. Sadly, is that most of them they're based in Eastern Cape.
Okay.
So Mamaka, I mean, like I think I was the last one from on her side, the side. So most of the time we engage hangata
Okay.
via phone. But when I get a chance, to make time to go see them that side. But the relationship it's very well. Certainly we lost our big sister, firstborn.
Okay.
So now it's only my brother and my other sister. It's Ayanda and Yolanda that are left. On my father's side, we have a last born. It's Palesa. So, but this side, I'm the firstborn. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice one. And now you are in matric. You decide to go to TUT.
Hey,
How did that come about?
man, it was not easy.
Okay.
For me to go to TUT, it had to take a leap of faith. Oh, I think I had $1 billion faith for me to go there. I remember when we had a trip at school when I was doing grade 12. We had 2 buses that went there, and I was the only guy the following year who got accepted there. So I feel like the whole of that our students, all of them, I think they were accompanying me that side. Yeah, but financial wise, things were not fine at home.
Okay.
I had not applied for what is it, the financial aid thing.
Yes.
So the journey was so sad, man. It was so sad, but I just had this crazy faith that things will be well. I don't know if you want me to touch on this
No,
little
no,
bit.
go ahead. Yes.
Yeah,
That's what we're looking for.
yeah. You know, it was not easy. It was not easy. Before going there, before like doing my first year, things were going well at home,
Okay.
and then things started to change financially. Things started to drop.
Yes, there was a
And
decline.
there was a decline, and the only thing that kept me going is the words that says that o tshepe botshepi ba Modimo hobane Modimo wa tshepahala le maemong a sa tshepahaleng. Those words pushed me a lot, and I had a choice to come back to say I don't have funding that side. Let me rather go back home because how next. But you know what I did? I did go to the financial office there. I did my application. They said no. Yeah, NSFAS. They said no. It's late for you to put your application there. So every now and then I was driving, Spanish train, going to Pretoria.
From Sebokeng.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, those were the best moments in my life. Those were the making moments in my life. Yes. So Spanish train. Ke ya ko class, and then after class, then I have to come back.
What time would you leave in the morning?
7 o'clock I'll be there. I think residency.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 o'clock I'll be there.
And your lecture start. How long is the travel from here to Pretoria via train?
I need to recall because it was years back.
It must be. I know with the. I mean, it must be more than 2 hours at least.
Yeah, it was more than 2 hours. But then remember, now I'm there, and then I'm now attending classes, and now we are finding out that the residents, they are now open. People can go, apply whatsoever. But remember, hangata, people who go there are the people that already have financial aid.
Yes.
So I went to one of the most expensive residents. Remember, I don't have any funding. And then I applied there, and then they asked me, do you have anyone who's paying for you? I said, yes. They said, are you sure? This is one of the most expensive res that we have here. I said, yes, there is someone that is paying. But in my heart, I was like, God will secure the bill for me. Yeah, then I got accepted.
That's a
there.
lot of faith. Eh?
Yeah,
It's crazy faith.
I got accepted there. Then I also got the keys. I told my parents, guys, I'm moving in this residence. It's very expensive. I know you don't have money, but I believe that God will make a way for me. I don't know how, but God will surely come through for me. And then now I have to relocate from this side, diploma Gores. Now it's tough Gores, whereby you find most of these learners, they use what is it? When you have back then it was AGU, I think it was AGU loan. You'll normally use Pick and Pay as a store where they can buy grocery. I was the only one inside of the bus who was always carrying ShopRite plastic. So now, the thing is that now they thought that this guy, he's a cheese boy. Why is he different? Which means he's paying for himself. But they didn't know that the struggle that I was going through.
There was a lot of
struggles. But just to summarize, those painful moments for me, they were my making moments.
But how did you pay for your expensive res?
Do you know what TUT is known for? Back then, I don't know now.
Okay.
Comrades.
Yeah.
Then they started to have strike. And then they said they need to include those guys that are on the waiting list.
Oh.
That's how my fees got.
So you're one of those who were feeling the strike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how my fees were paid. But it was around October, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So eventually you did get NEFSAS.
I did get NEFSAS, yeah.
For your studies. Okay.
Yes.
And did you choose to go and study, you said
entrepreneurship?
Did you choose to go study entrepreneurship? Was that your first choice, or is it how do you come to deciding? I mean, I didn't even know that there's a course called entrepreneurship.
There is.
I'm hearing about it for the first time today.
There is. I applied at Northwest University, but I think my marks were not, they were not fine. And then my second option was TUT. I applied for entrepreneurship as my first option. I think I've always loved business at a young age.
Okay.
And then I got accepted that side for entrepreneurship.
You say you've always loved business at a young age.
Yeah.
What triggered that? I mean, what made you love business at a young age?
Like I told you, I grew up seeing people in business having a lot of freedom on their side, a lot of time on their side, having time to do whatever that they want to do anytime, and seeing their lifestyle that they had. But above all, bringing solutions. When there's a problem, you bring a solution, you close that gap. I've always been someone who thinks like that.
Want to be innovative, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense. And then now you decide, okay, I'm going to study at TUT.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship course. You finish?
Yeah, I did cry. You know what? I did finish, but I failed my final year. Remember when you're doing your third year, we are told that you need to come up with a business idea. It's either you can just put it on paper or you can make it practical. But me and my friend Christo from Pretoria, we decided to make it practical.
Okay.
So we started an online business. We were calling it student purchased and sold. So You know, when the year is starting, you find students sitting outside there selling books by the stairs. So we're like, let us create an online platform for them to be able to exchange there.
Okay.
So we started that business. My focus was so much on the business, then I was not studying. Then I failed. I failed.
So you're practicing this thing, but
Mm.
in class you're not.
In class, no. I think now we're looking at, we're focusing on making money.
Okay.
Yeah.
The focus was
The focus, yeah, we're just on like
profits from the business.
profit from the business.
Was this your first business?
That one, let me check. It was my first business. Yeah, it was my first business.
Prior to that, no business experience or anything.
Besides selling at school, you know, we normally sell sweets. Yeah.
Okay, in high school.
In
primary
high
and
school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so you fail your
Final year.
final year.
Yeah.
Repeat.
I had to repeat. There's a course called cost and estimating. I didn't like. I was not focusing in class that much, so I had to repeat. Sadly, I had to be kicked out of that residence that I told you about, and now I have to relocate from Pretoria West to a village called Makau in Harankuas, not to next to Brett. Do you know it?
Okay. I know Brett's, yes.
Yeah, there's a village where Mtsipe grew up called Makau. So my friend likely he passed, but I failed. He accommodated me to say, no, you can come stay with us, go high.
Okay.
And then the following year I did well. I did very well.
And the following year, still doing this business.
I won't lie to you, it didn't last. We started it just after June.
Okay.
It didn't last. It didn't last because there were some betrayals that we also went through. I don't want to mention names, but we had this concept. There was one of the guys we looked up to. I think he was doing his masters, and we shared the concept with him because we saw that he already had speed points with him. We thought like, let us move it from online. Let's bring it here. And then that guy, he went behind us, implemented our concept.
Hey. Okay. And then you left the business. But was it profitable?
For a start, I'm not sure it didn't last, man.
Okay.
But we did make few. Not more than about 5K. Yeah, it was just okay.
Okay. And then you go and live with a friend.
In Garankua.
Okay.
Yeah. And then stay that side, the Gefeta School. Then after graduating, I had to come back to Kasi now.
Okay.
Yeah, now, you know, society, once you are from university, they have these perceptions that they have for you. If you have been away from few years, they are thinking that once you come back, you need to come back as a better person in life. And then I have to come back home.
Financially.
Man, even financially. They obviously, once you leave Kasi, they are thinking once you come back,
You
you'll
must
be
be
well
doing
off. They assume that everything is fine. They don't know, like, it's tough out there. Then I had to come back at Kasi now, and then it was tough, my brother. It was tough. The drive for entrepreneurship, remember I graduated in entrepreneurship, but the drive was no longer there because now I'm like, my parents are pushing me. You have to look for a job. You have to find a job. You have to do this and this. I'm applying, but I'm not getting anything. And then depression also almost hit me there. I had low self-esteem. You know, instead of using the gate, I will jump the wall so that people don't see me.
Really?
My brother, it was tough. I don't know what has happened, but it was tough for me.
Sure.
Because I think I had this perception that people, how will these guys view me? I mean, I left Kasi, now I'm back with them. What difference does it make? This guy went to school, but he's here with us. So it affected my confidence so much.
Yo. Just like, no, that's and this is now the following year.
Yes.
After graduating.
After graduating.
You are at home.
Yeah.
How long were you home?
2 years.
2 years. And in that 2 years, like hustling for work.
Hustling, I did try some stuff. There's a company that I did register there. I was calling it Palisa Business Development.
Okay.
So while I was still at home, I was still reading books, watching motivational videos. Then I'm like, okay, I see I'm not funding Span. How about I check what I have learned and check how can I help to assist small businesses in our kasi.
Okay.
Yeah. So now the first person that I approached was a tattoo man a tlile da jarateng a tlo kenya like just to put our kitchen unit.
Okay.
I liked his work, but I was like, you don't have Facebook presence. How are you marketing your business?
Mm.
So I'm like, I'm willing to assist you to scale or to develop your company. So I was like, let me focus on doing that. So yeah, I started with him. I also had another guy who was doing couches for kids. Your Spider-Man, your Superman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, now this business was you trying to help SMMEs scale.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happens to the business?
I did assist that man just to get few customers there and there in my kasi. And then the one for couches, I was using my Facebook page to post his work that he was doing.
Okay.
But I feel like I didn't have that enough drive, you know.
Yeah, for entrepreneurship at that point.
Yeah, at that time I was just doing just to push again, just to push time, because I didn't want my parents to see me like you're just sleeping, you're waking up. What's your plan for the day?
So it wasn't really a profitable venture, or
It was not it was not. I'll be honest, it was not a profitable venture. For me, it was like more like I was just giving back, assisting those guys.
Okay. And how long did that go on?
I think I pushed that for about a
Okay.
year or so.
All right. And then what happens after 2 years? Now you've been at home. I mean, utulama bota when you're supposed to, to come back
No.
home.
But Yamabota that happened just after, you just graduated. Just few months, like, shucks. Now, give me it's January now. Like, there, I'm really didn't Spani. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah. So, now what happened is that I saw a post on Facebook and then I applied. Is it fine if I can mention the name of
Yeah.
banks?
No, no.
Yeah, then I saw a post on Facebook there's a learnership for African Bank.
Okay.
And then I just applied.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then few weeks later, then I got their response that they would love to have an interview with me.
With you. Hold that thought. You mentioned that during this 2 year period, you started getting depression.
Yeah, for
How?
few months.
Yes. How do you lift yourself out of that situation?
The word of God.
Okay.
Firstly, the word of God. I church. I'm born again. Going to church. At church you find the services that take place during the week. I'll go to church, feed myself with the word of God. I think mostly above all, the word of God really helped me to pull myself together.
Back together. Yo, okay. All right. And then you join African Bank.
I joined African Bank. Yeah, it was a learnership. It was learnership. Then I joined African Bank. Did my year with them. Did very well. And then after then they employed me as a permanent employee.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I don't know if I'm rushing.
No. Take your time.
Yeah. Then I worked for them for about a period of 5 years. Yeah, period of 5 years.
Okay. And then after African Bank, what happens?
Let me now jump to after African Bank. The inception of my current business.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I thought it happens after.
No.
Okay.
No. Remember, it was during when there was looting.
Just after COVID or towards the end of COVID.
Looting happened. Is it after COVID? It was 2021, if I recall.
I think COVID was still there. Yes.
Yes, it was during that time after looting. So it happens that the branch had been closed for about almost 2 months.
Okay.
So I'm there at home and in front of our yard. I think you have been there. You saw we do have space. We have pilots. So the reason my parents did that, they mainly just wanted to host Stockfell parties or Stockfell meetings. If people want to host the Stockfell, they can use that place for Stockfells. So now, but they didn't apply that concept that they had. So now there I am. I'm like, okay, now I'm at home. I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, that love for business, now it's now coming back again. I'm like, okay, man, I'm not used just to sit there. I'm like, what can I do with the space that we have here? I'm like, no, maybe I should start an outdoor restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me start. You see, like it's an open space. Yeah. Let me start an outdoor restaurant. Okay. But I'm not sharing it with anyone. And then I decided to say one morning, let me go to Joburg and just get the few equipment, your stove,
Yeah.
and then ask my neighbors to do for us, what is it, price stand. Started there. Then I spoke with my little brother. I said, Chief, you see, you are not working. You are at home. Let's start selling chicken dust there. Then we started there. Our marketing board. We took one of the tables that we had. It was a white table. We took that table. We used the charcoal
Yeah.
to write there.
Okay.
Yeah, we took charcoal to write the chicken, what is the chicken dust plate, 35 rand, and then we places there facing
The road.
the road. Yeah. So we started there.
Okay.
Yeah. What is shiny? Yeah, we started there.
And what happened? So now you're selling
Chicken dust.
chicken dust. It's was it after the looting happened or
I think it was after the looting happened.
okay?
Yeah. Now I was still at home that time,
Mm.
but I was working with my brother Mpo to push the business. So we were working there together. Then up until I had to resume back to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the morning, in the
Yeah.
morning you wake up,
Yeah.
you put up your stall outside,
Yeah.
you start buying this chicken dust,
Yeah.
and in the afternoon you pack up, you go back in the house
Yeah.
every day.
Every day. Now in the morning you have to go stock chickens.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're getting about 10 full, full chicken. Yeah, 10 full chicken for about 500. Yeah, so in the morning we'll have to go stock. My brother will just prepare the fire there, and then we play some music, background music. Likely we had about few umbrellas, so we used the umbrellas that we had in our yard just to decorate the place,
outside.
the outside. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the reception of the business by the community?
When we are starting, the reception was not good. That's not good.
But don't get any chance to go now.
Yeah. No, it was not good. Why? Because you need to check, you need to study your market. Check what most of your people in your environment they love. In a day, sometimes we'll just sell about man, maybe one chicken the whole day.
Yo, and you bought 10.
Yeah. So you can imagine. Sometimes you prepare about 4 full chickens, and then now they'll just go waste.
You have to go back and eat them yourself.
You know. But no, but likely what we'll do if we had some stuff left, we're giving our neighbors kaskoloto to say, hey, let us give you this chicken. You'll pay us once you're fine.
Yeah, at least it's not waste now.
Does not waste.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was going slow, my brother. It was going slow. Why? Because I had so many competitors. Our brothers there by the road.
Yeah.
They'll be selling plate for about 15 rand, and I'm selling for 35 rand.
Hey.
Now
Competition
was yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then so why did you not close the business at the time? I mean, it was not making money. It was you were you were starting to sell at on credit
On credit.
for your neighbors.
There's this weight that I've always loved so much. Consistency is a key to success.
Okay.
You just need to show up every day, even if things are not going well. You just show up. You just show up. I just had that hope that someone out there is watching me. Someone out there is looking at me. You understand? And again, for me, it boosted my confidence so much. You know, when you have a business, people respect you, man. Whether you make money or not, they respect you. Yeah. Vuyani Maplankeng, Obri. You know, they respect you because it also brought this dignity for my family, for my parents, because my parents they're not working.
Yes.
You understand? So it did something also for them to. But we'll come on how did they enter into the business on later stage.
Okay.
But I didn't want to close it because in a further thing, I had hope that it's going to work out one day. It's going to be fine one day. I just needed to be consistent.
So eventually, that specific business, did it become profitable over time, or
Yeah.
what's the turning point? I mean, what triggered the turning point?
Man. Okay. Remember now, I did something. Now my neighbor is also my neighbor is also running his own business, but he sends quota,
Okay.
you know, the traditional quota. I sell the varsity quota.
Okay.
So now what happens is that most of our customers, when they come, they'll be asking me, man, you see here, you're not busy. Look at your neighbor is very busy, like having a lot of customers. Why don't you sell quota? But I was so scared. I'm like, yo, man, how will this guy feel if now I'm selling quota? It will be like I'm copying him, what he's doing. And then I thought about it, and then I decided to say, how about maybe to test this? How about we host what you call a quota fest?
Okay.
Remember, again, we saw what other guys in Soweto have been doing, those quota festival stuff, following them online. I'm like, let me host a quota fest. I don't have any experience in doing quota. But likely, one of my friend has a friend who's a chef. She's based here in Merton. So I asked the guy to link me to that lady.
Okay.
Then I called her. I said, you know what, man, I've been pushing this business of chicken dust, but it's not doing well. I want to venture into something different. So I'd love to have you in my company here. I'll pay you for your time. Just come, um, train my staff on how to prepare quota. Then we'll give you money.
Okay.
And then she came. She trained the guys that we were working with back then. And then she didn't leave us. I ended up employing her. That time, remember, Narsoga had actually the business was not yet profitable, but it
Yes.
was just an inception of saying let's try this new thing. Now the day came of the quarter fest. We posted on Facebook, your Vaal Notice Sports. When the day came, my brother, we had no space there. It was
Is it
yeah,
packed?
it was packed.
So this quarter fest, it was not an event where you bring people that are making quarter.
No.
It was your own quarter
One man
fest.
show.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be a once-off thing.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a once-off thing. We were like, we're gonna do this thing like once a month. Every month, and when people are paid, we are hosting those quarter fests. Yeah. Now, my brother was packed. We had people all over the Vaal, Three Rivers, Merton. It was crazy. It was packed to the point on Sunday, like we're getting calls. Customers like, guys, tomorrow we are coming. We could not come today. Tomorrow we are coming. I'm like, guys, I know the shop doesn't operate on Sunday, but we have to continue with this thing.
Hey.
Then we went on and on with it.
Okay.
Now money was coming in crazy.
But now where's the neighbor? I mean, what is the neighbor saying? Because now you are you're taking the spotlight of the neighbor.
You know what I did? I told myself, let me do something different. I checked the kind of quotas that he does. I was like, let me do the ones that is different. Let me just do the varsity quotas and at least put a stick on top there. So mine was a bit different.
Okay.
From
It was a bougie quarter.
yeah. Okay, mine was different. You understand? So he was still doing the traditional.
The
one.
traditional
Yeah,
ones.
I think he was fine because now he was also benefiting from us.
Yeah.
Now, my like our restaurant will be so packed, and then customers will end up going where
To him.
next door.
Yeah. So you're sharing the market.
We're sharing the market. And then later on, he made peace of it. It's like, okay, no, it's fine. I'm also benefiting. Sometimes when I close the store at 6, he'll close around 7 o'clock.
Okay.
So customers that come around 6 when we're closed, where do they go? They go next door.
Yeah. Okay. And this quarter fest, was it the first event that got you profit?
That was the first. I was relieved because that time, my brother, uh, like, I will even use my salary to pay some of the staff that were working for us that time.
Hey, I know that.
You know that face. Eh?
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I know that space.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that was the first that we had something that was be profitable for us.
okay. And now people are starting to saying, hey, you know what? You can't close this thing.
Yeah.
You need to continue.
You need to continue. So now we had to continue with it. And then I had to cancel the chicken. I'm like, chicken, it was nice working with you, but I was not getting a lot of footprint from
Yeah.
the chicken.
Okay.
But I was getting a lot of footprint from the quarter business. And then I had to get guys to assist with marketing, to come take pictures, and social media also did play a huge role for us
Yeah.
to get our name out there,
Out
to,
there.
to even grow our page on Facebook and having a lot of followers. Yeah.
Okay. And so you start opening, you turning this one-time event into a store.
Correct.
How was that transition? Because I mean, this thing, the plan was just to do it for a day. Did you buy equipment? Did you have equipment?
I remember when I was about to start the thing, I went to Joburg, already bought stove.
Okay.
So the stove, they came in handy by
Oh,
that time. But I also had to add some of the stuff that I can also use to make things easier for us
okay.
into serving customers. Yeah.
And that transition, how was it? How did you find, I mean, moving from an event now having to make it a regular thing that works every day, that employs people?
That employs people. I'll say it was good. It was great, but it also was bad somewhere.
Okay.
When a business grows, it can reach to a point where it can grow more than the visionary.
Okay.
I don't know if you get me.
Um,
Whereby now the business now leading you instead of you leading it.
okay.
I focused so much on the crowd that was coming, and I'm like, there's so much pressure. I need to add more employees, but I didn't need a lot of employees.
Okay.
I ended up having about 6 people working for me.
Mm.
Do you understand? To only find out that was I was killing myself.
You had overcompensated for what was required, for the
Yeah,
required
yeah.
capacity.
Because I checked the footprint. Yes, the money was there, but I don't think we needed so many people like that. I allowed the business to lead me at the end.
Okay.
I was not thinking straight. I was still excited about that phase that we're in.
Okay. All right. But nonetheless, I mean, at least you are now having customers and it's a business that is a going concern.
Yes.
What happens then now? You're running this. Are you still working with your brother? Or you're alone? Because the last time we were talking about the chicken business, you were working with your brother.
He left during that phase. My brother is still a young guy, so you understand. His friends came and said, "We have a spot somewhere in Everton. We are planning to start our own car wash." Then he told me that he's going to start the very same thing that we are doing here at home with his friends.
On the
I'm
other
like, my brother, it's fine. You can go. Then I had to employ someone from church to come be of help.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the business is still running. So this is the business that we are seeing today.
Today, yeah.
Maplankeng.
Maplankeng, Vaal
Vaal
Maplankeng.
Maplankeng.
Yeah.
Was it, where's the name coming from? I mean, Vaal Maplankeng. It's actually a weird name.
Yeah.
But I sort of get, when
You get it.
when you stand outside, you look at the business, you get why it's called Vaal
Vaal
Maplankeng.
Maplankeng.
I'm just curious.
Why?
Why Vaal Maplankeng?
I won't lie to you. Like I said, I'm a person who's rooted in the word of God. I prayed, I asked God, which name must I go for? And then it just came, Vaal Maplankeng,
Okay.
through prayer.
And then it became Vaal Maplankeng.
Then I'm like, I'm gonna register it, Vaal
Okay.
Maplankeng. You know, actually, when I went to Joburg, I bought alphabets. I should have came with them here. I bought those alphabets. Then I showed my parents. Then I explained to them, guys, I want to start this. And then they were sold to this vision that I'm selling to them. Then I put those alphabets together. Then I'm like to my little sister, can you read here? She said, Vaal Maplankeng. I'm like, yeah, guys, we're gonna call it Vaal Maplankeng.
Vaal Maplankeng.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, nice one.
Yeah.
The Quarterfest, was it? So the Vaal Maplankeng came with the Quarterfest or after the Quarterfest?
Before.
Before the Quarterfest.
It was called Vaal Maplankeng when we started selling chicken.
Chicken. Oh, okay. All right. And then it became
Yeah.
Vaal Maplankeng.
Just to add there, I think the vision that I had, I wanted everything that we had there, it needs to be wood. I wanted to serve people in trays that are wood.
Okay.
The idea was just wood everywhere. You know, when we are there, you just need to see wood. Yeah.
Okay, that's why. So it is. It was not just the
No.
the perimeter fencing that was. I thought that's the inspiration.
No.
Of Vaal Maplankeng. Okay, and now the business is growing. I mean, initially you employ 6 people, and then later on you realize, yes, like I'm overly resourced here.
I fired all of them.
You fired all of them. What happens to the chef? Was she part of the?
No, the chef, I think she had to relocate, or she had found a job,
Okay.
so she had to leave us.
Okay.
Yeah, and at least the skill was there with the guys
transferred.
that was transferred. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then you fire this.
Yeah, later on, it was not easy. I'm very soft.
Okay.
Okay, I think I used to be soft. I think business can change you, or people can change you,
Yeah.
because people can take advantage of your kindness. I think the guys that I was working with, they were a blessing in my life, but then I think they got so much relaxed later on. They took advantage of my kindness because I thought I can leave them. They'll be able to watch over themselves there. And then there was a project that I was going to make a lot of money that I got from church.
Okay.
To serve about, I think it was around about 200 or 500 people. And then they messed up that project. I was hurt, my brother. My reputation, the business reputation, I was hurt, and I lost that project. That could have opened more other projects.
Businesses,
Yeah,
yes.
for me.
Okay.
And then I was like, it was towards year end. I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to decide. Already there were a lot of complaints that I was getting, or a lot of things I was suspecting that from my team.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was like, I think I need to start a new year, start afresh.
Okay.
So I had to let go of them. That was not easy, but I had to.
Oh. But now this is the team who's been trained by the chef. And now if you fire everyone, how do you ensure that the skill set is still there, and the processes are still in place? If the chef did give you some of the processes that you needed to follow, how do you ensure the transition to a
Now,
new
let
team?
me just bring clarity. Now, what I did, I fired those who didn't do their duty when we had that particular project. But there was this other lady. I think she's still with us. She was very honest with us, and then I let go of these guys. You know what I said? I told them, guys, we are about to go to a new year, and if I don't call you guys, just know that you don't have to come to work, report to work, But that lady was still there, so I had to utilize this one lady.
Okay.
And then when we employed another person, she was the one that was training the new employee.
The new staff. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
With the chef, one of the things that I find with businesses, small businesses, is they battle with processes and systems. And I'm glad that you say when you started this business, you called a chef to come and
Assist. Yeah.
assist. Were there any systems that were developed as a result of the chef?
I mean, I learned the hard way. I developed systems later on. yes, we're still making money, but system we developed how when we started to see that we are losing some money through theft.
Hey.
I get it, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
our people sometime, I don't know why, but yeah, through theft. Now we have to check. No, we need to have systems that we're gonna put in place to be able to count the stock. But the person that helped me a lot with that, it's my wife.
okay. She's the one who's
Yo, man, she saved me from a lot.
okay.
She's the one who did assist me
Okay.
because she had to go through our books, check our books, and did see, no, you're not doing things right here. So I think you should do this and that and that and that, and then we implemented those systems. Even today, we're still
They're still
using them.
using them. Okay. And are they effective?
I'll say they're effective because
Think-
the business is still standing, and my family they're doing well.
Okay. How has your work experience, helped you sustain this business? Would you say there's a correlation between the two? You having experience from a banking institution
Yeah,
and running a business on the side.
it did help, especially when it comes to customer service.
Okay.
Remember at the bank, you interact with customers. So I had to pass that knowledge or that skill to my staff on how they should interact with the customers.
Okay.
You know, a happy customer will bring more customers to you. So it did assist.
Okay.
It did assist. Yeah,
Right.
mostly when it comes to customer service.
Okay. But systems is the wife that
The wife helped me.
brought all the systems in.
You know, my brother, when you're playing football and you're in the field, sometimes you don't see well. Sometimes you need coaches outside who can have an overview and see you're not doing right there. You're not
Yeah.
doing that. Because I was just leading myself. I didn't have anyone that I was reporting to. Yeah.
Okay.
Up until I
The
started to
accountability partner was
up until I started to involve my wife.
okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And what's the future for Vaal Maplankeng?
Yo, the future for Vaal Maplankeng.
Where do you see this business in 5 years' time?
5 years
2030?
time. 5 years time, and I'd love to see it having footprint in different locations
Okay.
or maybe provinces, which I did try it last year. I opened 2 branches in Sasolburg last year
Okay.
with my wife,
Okay.
and they were doing well. We had Sasolburg like this.
Okay.
Yeah, with my wife.
Uh,
So, but I, I just want to see it like having.
what happened to the businesses in Sasolburg? I mean,
Okay.
I live in Sasolburg, and
Wait,
I live in Sasolburg, and I don't know
we
where
don't know.
to
Do
get.
you know Sagadoga?
We'll talk about
Zamdela.
it. Yeah, I know Zamdela.
Yeah,
We'll talk about it outside this. But okay, so you opened the two businesses in Sasolburg.
yeah, with my wife.
Are they still operational?
I'll go there. I'll explain.
Okay.
A lot happened.
Uh,
Remember, we are learning. Yeah, we are learning in this journey. You're always learning.
uh,
We opened 2 businesses in Sasolburg. We had to close them. Uh, one of the reason was the rental issue.
okay.
Yeah, the place that we got it because we are desperate. Um, we got kicked out of the place that we were using. We had one of our brother that asked us to come start something like Vaal Maplankeng in Sasolburg there.
Okay.
But when we started to see the business was doing well, and then he chased us out.
Okay.
You know how our operas do things sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we chased out.
So there was no contract in place to say,
Man, I learned that the importance of having a contract. There was no contract.
hey,
We're just engaging like this.
okay.
Like I was like, this guy is my brother. He won't betray me. Then when I was betrayed, you know what he said to me? He said to me, next time you should learn the importance of having contract in place. So there was no contract. And then now we are desperate. The demand is too high. Our customers are like, okay, we're like, we need to find a place whereby our customers will be able to find us. And then we got a place, we were desperate, and then I think the owner just gave us a higher amount.
Hey,
So the rental was a lot for us.
okay.
It
So
was a lot. But beside the rental, my wife, remember I'm working. she was the one taking care of that business or those businesses. But she also had a desire of saying that she would love to work in a corporate environment. Then she later got herself a job
Okay.
in one of the banks as well. So
Yeah. But were you able to, I mean, implement the same systems that you're using here on the
yeah,
next?
we did. Yeah, we
Okay.
did. But I felt like that one, Sasolbeck, was far ahead than this one
Okay.
because my wife was so much involved in this one. I think she has some magical touch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe she needs to leave corporate and go get these businesses going.
I told her next year we need to start again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tell me something as we close, my brother.
yeah.
What would you say to someone who is in corporate, working on a full-time basis, and they're thinking of getting a side hustle? You know, they've been considering this thing of starting something on the side because I think, I mean, we all think this is necessary. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
I think you must take calculated risk.
Okay.
Don't just jump. There was once a time whereby there was this wave of entrepreneurship whereby people were just excited to be entrepreneurs, and some they just left their jobs and ended up getting depressed because things are not working well for them. If you wanna do it, um, surely part time, ne? At least you need to have someone that you can trust that can be able to assist you in establishing that. It's not easy, my brother. I won't lie.
Mm.
It's not easy. But if you want to do it and you feel like it's in you, you want to pursue this thing, just do it. But I didn't explain something to you before we're going to wrap up. Um, the initial plan when I was pushing this thing of business,
Mm.
we as black people, I don't want to say black tax. I don't want to call it black tax.
Responsibilities.
Yes. I wanted my family to have something that will be able to sustain them, even without me being present.
Mm.
That was my greatest motivation
Okay.
of starting that business. And today, my father, my mother, they're the ones that are managing the company. Even if I'm not there, the business is doing well. The systems are there. They know which systems to use.
Mm.
Yeah.
And with you working and running this thing part-time, what were some of the advantages? Because I know you're saying it's difficult for someone who wants to go
Yeah.
into this thing, but
Yeah.
there are also advantages
Mm.
of working and then starting this thing on the side.
Yeah.
So for yourself, what would you say are some of the advantages or things that helped you to start a business while you were working?
Mm. Advantages, obviously, making an extra cash when you're not there.
Mm.
Um, being able again to bring meaning or integrity or street like
Yeah,
to your family,
yeah.
knowing that your family is respected
Mm.
for what they have. Even my sister at school, people will be like, "Are you from that shop, Vaal Maplankeng?" So it also gives a sense of
Yeah.
belonging, like confidence. You understand? So the advantages that I would say for me,
And I think one thing, sorry,
yeah,
just to let you on that, one thing about this is what that thing does is it gives you a greater drive than just a person who wants to make money. Now you're finding a meaning that is, you create a meaning that is beyond just money and profits. It's about the impact that this thing has.
it does. Do even when you sleep at peace, knowing that there's a family that gets provided just because of you. Even that time when the business was not doing well and I was paying the staff out of my salary, I didn't have stress. I was at peace because I knew that God will reward me one day and I'm making a difference in other people's lives.
Have you ever financed this business or businesses in other ways except for your own income from your employer? Did you get any other funding or investors coming in?
Investors, when the business was now doing well, I did get approached from different people wanting to put the money, but I was like, no, I just want to allow the process to happen. I don't want to grow so fast. I need to allow the process to happen. But ever since the inception, I've never got any funding anyway till today.
Okay. All right. No, that's interesting. As we wrap up this, is there anything that maybe we might have missed from this discussion that you think you want to talk about or mention?
Yeah, I just want to encourage someone, a young person out there, that if you have a dream, set a timeline. Don't just set goals. Set a timeline. Tell yourself, I'm starting to pursue this thing on this date. I'm starting this company on this date. And have an accountable partner who will hold you accountable, who will remind you that, Chief, you said on the 1st of September, you are starting this. So now, what is happening? And don't allow fear to rule over your life. People are scared. People die with so much dreams, so much talent inside of them, but they don't use their God-given gifts, God-given talents while they're still on earth. You need to serve people with what God has injected inside of you. By doing so, you become a blessing in your generation. You don't want to rob people what God has placed in you. I believe even for you, for yourself, there is something that is driving you. In an entrepreneurship space, you want to make a difference in someone else's life. That's why we are here. But imagine if you sat down at home and like being scared, allowing fear to control you, what will happen to other young people who are going to be inspired by what they're going to watch? So what I'm saying to you, Mutamoja, pursue whatever that God has planted in you. It's okay to fail.
Yes.
It's okay to try again. If you have failed, try again. Keep on trying again. One day you'll get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This journey is full of is riddled with failures. I mean,
Correct.
we fail more than we actually achieve.
And failure is the best teacher.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Okay. Now, my brother Audrey, thank you very much. I want to give you an opportunity before we close.
Okay.
Do you have any question for the next guest that you might want to ask?
Okay.
Don't ask me who's the next guest. I don't know the next guest. But I want to give you the opportunity to ask them a question, something that you think you might want to hear an answer from a different person.
Okay. What keeps you going when things are not going your way? What keeps you to keep on going in life?
What drives you?
What drives you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
For those of you for those who've not been to Vaal Maplankeng,
Yeah.
where do they find you? Maybe share some of your contact details with them.
Okay.
I've been to Vaal Maplankeng.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had your quotas,
Quota.
and they are,
Yes.
delicious.
Thank
They are
you.
bougie.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I think maybe share some of your details where people can find you.
Yeah.
If they want to contact you for some food.
Okay. They can follow us on our Facebook page, Vaal Maplankeng. My contact details are also there. But if you are looking for us, we are just opposite Everton Mall, opposite the main entrance gate of KFC and Roots. Like you'll see, there's houses that are facing the gate where the white pilots. We are just there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Abud, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for having me. It's been such a blessing and honor.